Good morning again, and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Manhattan. I'm Pastor Isabel Call, and it's such a joy to serve as the minister here. Our vision is to be a vibrant, inclusive congregation, widely known as a safe haven and force for social justice. We are a national religious movement as well as an international religious movement, and we have connections to Unitarian and Unitarian Universalist congregations around the world, including in Transylvania, where Unitarians have been living since the 1500s. We also have partner churches in India and Indonesia and throughout Europe. So we are part of a large community here in this little community of Manhattan. Today we'll be connecting to our Unitarian roots in Czechoslovakia. So this will be a little different from our normal services, but as usual, we will have our joys and sorrows opportunity later, and so I invite you to write down any joys and sorrows that you would like to have shared later. If you're on Zoom, there will be an opportunity later to type them into the chat, and if you're here in person, you can find a paper nearby to write on. Welcome any visitors or newcomers. Please chat with us after the service. Our greeter, Jessica Sievers, and our Zoom host, Linda Johnson, are especially available to answer questions. We have a party today, this afternoon and evening. Hope everybody will join us. It's at Blue Vista Retreat in Randolph, Kansas, on Tuttle Creek Lake. And you can find the address on our calendar, on our website. Bring joy, a picnic blanket, if you have it, a dish to share. Now, like I said, today is a special service. We are honoring the 100th anniversary, the 101st anniversary of the first flower communion with music composed last year to celebrate the blessings of diversity, the beauty of freedom and dignity, and the power and strength of the religious movement founded by Norbert and Maya Čapek, who we will learn about later today. It's a movement that continues to thrive today. Many of you brought flowers. In a few minutes, if you have those, we will ask you to bring them forward. If you don't have a flower, we have one for you from Jen and Matt at Woolly Bee Farm. And you will have an opportunity later to get it. Jen Campbell from Woolly Bee Farm asked me to let you know about the CPR awareness events that are happening this month, including next Saturday at the farmers market. CPR saved Matt Campbell's life after he was struck by lightning and went into cardiac arrest. Statistically speaking, if you are called on to give CPR during an emergency, it will most likely be for someone that you love. And so we invite you to learn CPR, and there are 4 opportunities this month to do that. There's a flyer here for you to pick up. I grew up as a Unitarian Universalist celebrating flower communion, and it really was very recently that I learned that Norbert Čapek was a political prisoner of the genocidal Nazi regime. When we celebrate the vibrancy and joy of flower communion, we are honoring the resilience of our faith and people who have carried it with them through darkness. For our land acknowledgement, I want to recognize a present-day political prisoner, Leonard Peltier, who, like Chapek, offered leadership to, and continues to offer leadership to people with a message of life, light, and freedom. In the 1970s, Indigenous Americans were starting to visibly and vocally express pride in their identity, and Leonard Peltier was a leader of AIM, the American Indian Movement. But this expression of freedom met with organized government resistance, as well as vigilante violence. During what is known as the Reign of Terror at Pine Ridge Indian Reservation, dozens of Oglala Lakota people were murdered. Those murders remain unsolved. During a violent and unwarranted raid of the reservation, 2 FBI agents were killed, and Leonard Peltier was convicted during a highly flawed prosecution. It has been condemned by some of the prosecutors involved themselves, as well as the United Nations, Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch, the National Congress of American Indians, the ACLU, Nelson Mandela, Coretta Scott King, the Dalai Lama, the list goes on. It's not a fair trial. Tomorrow, after 49 years in prison, this 79-year-old citizen of the Turtle Mountain Band of Chippewa Indians is facing what is probably his last parole hearing. The Lakota people have written a very good letter that they've asked us to sign, supporting Leonard. And so I'd like to invite you to sign it. And if you have your phone, you can do it now. If you're on our listserv, you got an email last night from me, or if you got our virtual order of service, you can find the links to the letter there. Or you can talk to me after the service and I'll help you get connected to sign. This is one small action toward a world of peace, justice, freedom, and no political prisoners.
Music was a joy and a lifeline for Norbert Chapek. The texts of 7 hymns he wrote while incarcerated in Dresden prison are preserved in the book Norbert Fabian Chapek, A Spiritual Journey, written by Richard Henry. Henry notes that in Chapek's hymns, we sense his premonition of his fate, yet they are all full of hope and beauty. In the depths of my soul adapts one of Chapek's hymns and sets it to a meditative, chant-like melody. The words remind us that in difficult times, solace is waiting deep within us.
In the depths of my soul, there where lies the source of strength, where divine and human meet. There quiet your mind, quiet, quiet. Outside let lightning rain, horrible darkness frighten the world. But from the depths of your own soul, from that silence will rise again the flower of God. Return to yourself, rest in yourself. soul, where divine and human meet. Turn your heart to the eternal, in the depths of your own soul, your panting quiets down. Quiet, quiet, where divine and human meet. There is your refuge.
The words and melody of hymn number 8, Mother Spirit, Father Spirit, in the UU hymnal, Singing the Living Tradition, were written by Norbert Chapek, translated into English, and adapted into the familiar song with its questions and images of Earth's beauty. Chapek's hymns tell us that he felt the spirit of life and love with him always. And in this new song, a voice of the Spirit answers each question, journeying with Chapek and with all of us. Because the spirit of life and love is expansive, not limited by gender, the language has been updated. We invite you to listen for the diverse divine voices that sing, "You are my beloved."
Mother Spirit, Father Spirit, where are you? I am right beside
We are one. We are free. We are here. Much has changed in the 100 years since the first flower communion, but our commitment to the values it embodies grows ever stronger as we continue to shape a faith that fiercely and gently calls forth beauty and kinship in easy times and times of heart-rending challenge. As we Unitarian Universalists work to dismantle our culture of oppression and exclusion, learn to embrace a multiplicity of cultural worldviews, and shift our historical center to follow powerful new leadership by those whose voices have been suppressed for too long, we make real the bold vision of Norbert and Maya Chapek and the Flower Communion.
So it's time now for our flower communion. In a moment, I will welcome everyone here in the sanctuary to come forward, move gently to get a flower. If you would like to stay in your seat, please let your neighbor know that they could bring a flower back for you. If you're here on Zoom, I invite you to watch those of us here in the sanctuary take a flower and meditate on all of the places these flowers have come from, not just where they were picked, but where the elements that make them up came from. The water and the earth, and also the love and care that brought them here today. After you get your flower, you are welcome to return to your seat. Take your flower home. Watch it live. Watch it pass away. You may choose to give your flower to someone. Might suggest a father or a man in your life as we're moving toward Father's Day next week, or somebody in your life who has offered you support and helped you flower. So now the flower communion. I invite you to come forward and get a flower.